대박 사건. 헐, 대박 사건.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Daebak City. I'm your host, DJ Sim, and this week we are in for something really interesting, that being hip-hop beef. No, not the kind you eat, but the kind you listen to and say, oh snap, did he just say that? Okay, so it all started with Swings releasing a song called King Swings, where he basically calls out everyone in the Korean hip-hop industry, including Ugly Duck and Simon D. Ugly Duck responded with Control-Alt-Delete ×2, and E-Sens heard about it and responded with, you can't control me. Then all types of craziness started happening. So, in case you haven't had time to check it out, you have come to the right place. I'm going to play the main song, so grab a seat and have a listen. Oh, and if you have children, please send them out of the room because this episode of Daebak City is definitely going to be rated +18. This is Daebak City on Aewen Radio, and I will be back with some translations. Welcome back to Daebak City. I'm your host, DJ Sim, and the first 3 diss songs you heard was Swings, King Swings, Ugly Duck's Control-Alt-Delete ×2, and E-Sens You Can't Control Me. Now, Ugly Duck was the first to respond, I believe, to King Swings. And basically his Control-Alt-Delete is a direct diss of Swings. He expresses his frustrations about how Swings has changed and becoming someone that in the past he'd ridiculed. An excerpt of the lyrics that I got from Soul Beats. There are a lot of translations on the web, so all you gotta do is just kind of Google it, and I'm telling you, it's bananas. Ugly Duck says, you had a riff with Sam D, who's Simon D, not me, for a while, and now what? You apologize suddenly and request for him to guest and just jam the next day? I understand your motives, but aren't you slightly even embarrassed? Just because you were on broadcast for a while, it seems that you get a lot of functions calling in for you to perform. For what? You seem to enjoy the fact that people recognize you now, huh? So basically, as I said, Ugly Duck is dissing Swings. Like, he is holding no punches. He's voicing his frustrations to Swings. He is just basically going off. Now, E-Sens also responded to Swings with a song called You Can't Control Me. There have been other responses, but pretty much they've been indirect with the exception of Ugly Ducks. But when E-Sens came out with You Can't Control Me, he just called a lot of people out. Amoeba Culture and Gaeko of Dynamic Duo. And basically he says, are you curious as to what kind of bullying they did? Even the blood of a fox with his mouth shut and eyes closed would boil. I'm washing away the makeup that they kicked on my face, which took me 2 years at minimum. If you hear this, then answer me, Gaeko. Trust me like how you did in the past 5 years I was under the company. Treat me like how you did in the past 5 years I was under the company. Don't back out now, as this is the last respect for me. Since you already rejected the offer, let's battle as soldier to soldier. Cosplaying as a nice person, F that, that's dirty. Be honest when you're speaking because you're cheap. No matter how much I think of it, I was a sub during the time Dynamic Duo enlisted. They used the idea of respecting a junior, so explain to me now, including your retired rap beside you. To the rest of these efforts, I was going to pin it, but it'd be a waste of ink. Everyone probably understood anyway, so pass. Give you $1 million, Amoeba Culture can kiss my ass. You probably do it again with the media play since it's what you're good at. You'll frame me as the ungrateful effer. I'm trying to clean it up as much as possible, but like I said, this show is definitely rated 18+, so please, if you have little children or if you're sensitive to harsh language and vulgarity, turn off this show right now. Okay, now getting back to it, as you can hear in my poorly attempted trying to flow graciously with these lyrics, I'm not a rapper. I've never been one, never wanted to be one. But anyway, you get the general gist of what E-Sens was saying to Gaeko, and actually to Amoeba Culture as well. E-Sens, as you know, recently parted with them they decided not to renew his contract pretty much as soon as he came back after his 2-year reflection from being caught with marijuana. Now, as you know, Gaeko and the Dynamic and Choiza from Dynamic Duo were in KCON this past weekend. So I kind of didn't think he would respond because he was probably busy getting ready for the concert, but no, he actually did respond regardless of the fact that he was getting ready to travel with I Can Control You. So we're going to take a listen to that, and I will be back after a few minutes with some more translations. This is DJ Sim. You are listening to Daebak City on Aewen Radio. Welcome back to Daebak City. I'm your host, DJ Sim, and the next set of diss songs you just heard was Swings, King Swings Part 2, Ugly Duck, Format, and Gaeko, I Can Control You. Now, Swings responded to E-Sens' You Can't Control Me with some more drama about him and his marijuana scandal. Ugly Duck responded to Swings again, and then Gaeko responded to the whole thing. And I wanted to look particularly at Gaeko because he really focused on E-Sens' marijuana scandal, which when I first started listening to Korean hip-hop, I didn't know. Like, I knew there was a duo with Simon D and E-Sens, but I didn't see E-Sens. I thought that he was away doing his mandatory military obligation, but it turns out it was a marijuana scandal. So this is part of the translations from Gaeko's I Can Control You. Look at the responses on your rap that you made sober. This effort's on something. Look at the photo on Neighbor with your head hung low. He smoked something. You're basically asking for the company to clean up after your ish, as if you're turning your back on Kakao Talk, or as Keiko Talk. Anyway, and betraying the young who held everything in. Your mouth is always pinned, and your throat is hoarse after performing one track. You said you're doing this for the sake of those around me, tired of you wearing a cynical smile and being pessimism. But let's get this straight, asshole. You made more than I did as a sub. So, as you can hear, he is not very happy. He goes on to say, soldier to soldier, don't kid around with me. I'm the king, so why don't you go on in dissing... Oh, he dropped the C-bomb. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what the C-bomb is, please look it up because I'm not going to say it. But suffice to say, it's a very strong swear word in English. So, yeah, just look it up. Trust me, it's bad. He continues to say, what do you think you can do, you bum? What do you think you can do when you be living in prison with no windows because I'll punish you? So, it seems like Gaeko and E-Sens are battling, going back and forth. Swings is going for Simon D and E-Sens, but just on different tracks, I guess, different bits. So, it's really getting heated with them. But now there are also Korean rappers that are getting in on this whole control, I'm putting everybody out business that have absolutely nothing to do with the group. They're just, it's unrelated. So we have Dead 11. I don't know how you say 11's name. Is it I-11? But it's I, the 2 number ones, EVN 11. We have some females trying to jump in on it. Not trying, they are. Well, one female is jumping in on it. And the whole thing is just going bananas, but in a good way. So, with that being said, let's take a listen to the next set of diss tracks, and I'll get back to you as soon as you hear them. This is DJ Sim. You're listening to Daebak City on Aewen Radio. Welcome back to Daebak City. I'm your host, DJ Sim, and the last set of diss songs you heard was E-Sens, True Story, Simon D, Control, and Swings, King Swings, Part 3. Okay, so E-Sens' True Story basically is just going in on Gaeko. It's his response to Gaeko's diss song. And part of the translation is, if I give you 200 million won and leave quietly, you'll discount 800 million won. Don't even joke. I knew you were lying. You thought I was an idiot and talked as if you were being nice. I definitely said that I won't invade responsibility. Who betrayed who in this story? F you, go to hell. We tremble asking for a vacation. Your stupid manager was too scared to say I couldn't go to broadcast, so he told me to move my father's burial rites for the weekend. F you, go to hell. You're that kind of people. You knew everything, but if I ask, you say, sorry, I don't know. Don't be a dick. You're the fake rotting shell. If not that, you're a coward who's scared of your older sister's skirt. And it goes on and on and on. You can imagine he's pretty angry and he's just going in. I say that a lot, but it's true. I'm reading the translations, which you can do. They're all over the internet. He was going in on Gaeko. I had to look up the older skirt mention because I didn't know what that was. And I found online that supposedly Gaeko was the one that was spilling the beans about E-Sens' marijuana use to the media, who happened to be a female friend of his, who also did the media play for Amoeba Culture. So I guess that's how the company found out about his marijuana use. Alright, so that was E-Sens' response to Gaeko. But also Simon D decided to jump in. He didn't decide to jump in. He was called into it. He was dragged into it because Swings was trying to take shots at Simon D. So he released his song called Control, and this is part of the translation. Label, step back for a bit. Even if it's the breaking of the contract, I have the rights to make a new rule since I've ruled around like a dog. The anger that came from lack of attention changed the dynamics. The dogs that watch say I'm the fox, but wait, Sens wouldn't diss me so vaguely. Don't let your guard down. E-Sens versus Amoeba Culture, E-Sens versus Dynamic Duo. I had a lot of problems with them too, but they didn't get along. I couldn't hold hands with either one. I always held tightly onto my little brother's wrist. Really. The selfish fighting. The fighting without an answer is only next. The painful noise is at the end of the silent scream. There's definitely parts that are my fault in the fighting. I admit it. I always pretended I was winning in the shieldless fight. I couldn't do much but make money. Even outside of the canvas of the verse, I grew tired of writing. I had to stand lonely. It's funny to blame not being able to adapt now. I hide both sides of myself, the one that adapted with or without Sens. You say you're Sens' best friend, but you don't know ish about his feelings. Do I have to say everything? Rubbing your ears. I pretended to be nice and smiled on the TV, but who's the one who's doing ish in the back? Ask your friend if I'm the type to betray people. The only thing for sure is that you don't have the truth. Get it, you MFer? So basically what he's saying is he's denying that he sold out E-Sens. He's also saying that he and E-Sens are still friends, and he's saying that there was discontent. There were issues on both ends between he and E-Sens, but he doesn't get specific about it. So basically Simon D responds to what Swings was saying, but he doesn't really, he kind of keeps it general. He doesn't go in as much as E-Sens did to Gaeko. Swings responded to Simon D with the song King Swings Part 3 or New World, and just a quick translation of his rap says, I'm not scared, this is just a chance. Is my life just a tag you can step on and flip over? Behind the numerous failures, behind the failure, behind the preview of success, I started grinning because of Miss Kisuk that appeared out of nowhere. You're my energy, like I'm going to kiss you. No, Miss Jung, should we just buy those heels? How about pretty earrings or a pink scarf? You want a fur coat, a Hwangjung-eun tint? This is already not a diss. I'm relaxed as a whistle and share kisses with my woman. Why would I diss you? You're my lovely mistress. Should I spell it out for you in Korean? I'm going to throw up, but you're the woman I'm having affairs with. I castrated you. Hurry up and give me your balls. Bam. I don't think I need to read anymore. That pretty much sums up what he thinks of Simon D. Yeah. So after this particular song, New World, or King Swings Part 3, he stopped. He said he was done, it was fun, and now he's over it. Time to move on. Simon D's camp said he was moving on and getting back to work, as did Gaeko, as did E-Sens. So really, just as it seemed like it was really starting to heat up, it died out, which pretty much happens in all hip-hop beef, not just Korean hip-hop beef. So, with that being said, let's listen to a few of the other rappers that decided to get in on not necessarily dissing each other as bad as E-Sens, Swings, and Simon D and Gaeko, but still wanted to have fun and join this train ride of Korean beef. So let's take a listen, and I will be back as soon as we do that. This is Daebak City on Aewen Radio. Welcome back to Daebak City. I'm DJ Sim, and the last set of diss songs you heard was 11, Control 11, or Control 11, Tymee, Control, but it's CONTLOL, and Blue Chan, Construct. Now, 11's translation for his song goes like this. Kendrick raised the bar and everybody knows it. Swings threw in a paste bit, everybody bites into it right away. This is a festival of hip-hop for others to enjoy. If I suppressed my instincts, I'd really be found guilty. So I have to participate for the festival. The participants are sosu in English decimal. Let's start this properly. What the F is competition? The most interesting round in the history of Korean hip-hop is in front of me. But why should I flee? Why watch from across the river? I want to be involved in history. I've clenched my fists. F that Twitter chit-chatting and pretending to haven't seen it. Why on earth would you play it safe? Do you have a cold and are aching all over? So basically, he's just saying he's ready to go. He wants to jump in on this, and he's ready. Tymee was the only female hip-hop artist that I know of that jumped in on all of this. And she was kind of doing it playfully. It was playful, but she still, tried to go hard. Her translation is, right now this scene is just a little bit really hot. Thanks to mood swings, everyone is all F. Hell. Hwang Jung-min, you did a good job, but the first song is meh. Your labored breathing is still the same, but your attempt is respect. F. So many things I want to say. Some assholes report to the police over the disses. F that. You cried to the police? When did hip-hop become a fighting ground between cowards? You say that, and then say peace, one love? Ridiculous words are shameful. Some kids jump onto the bandwagon and yell. All you uninformed brats, F yourselves. F ya. This is just a game and a festival. Come at me. I'll take this spot to apologize and advise. I'm a rebel who left this scene, bullied and abused by maniacs. If I'm a criminal, I'm guilty of trusting people. You don't know this ground. It's effing filthy. Then she goes on and on. So, as far as I know, no other female responded to her. And finally, the last song we played was Blue Chan's Construct. Unfortunately, I can't even find any translations for that. I'm sure they're out there somewhere. Or if you actually know how to read Korean, understand it, and are fluent, then you can read the lyrics, because all of these songs are on SoundCloud. I guess SoundCloud is like the new hotness, or maybe it's been hot for a while. I'm just getting up on it. But that, in a nutshell, is the Korean hip-hop beef that lasted about a week and a half. So, yes. Fantastic. I'm glad it happened. And hopefully it'll happen again. I kind of wanted I wanted Tiger JK to go, kind of jump in on it and just put everybody to sleep and, say, okay, I'm done. Everybody go about their business. That would have been hot, but I might be in the minority with that one. I don't know. So hit me up on Twitter, DJ_SSAM, or shoot me an email, ssam@aewen, AEWEN.com. And let me know what you thought about it. I know it's over now. People have moved on. Record companies are like, okay, that's enough. Let's move on to making some money here. Let me know what you thought about it. Did you even know it was happening? Did you understand what was happening? Let me know. I'm really, really curious about that. Thank you so much to Aewen Radio for letting me actually do this little special Daebak City and just, recap to the best of my abilities what happened. I love shedding light on this particular subgenre because this is my music. I love it. So, and I want to bring it to the forefront. I'm going to shed light to it. So thank you, Aewen Radio. Thank you all who sat through this hour and listened to a lot of the same beat and may not have understood most of what was going on, but was interested. So thank you very much. And I will be back next week. I will make sure to mellow it out. We'll probably just do a bunch of Korean R&B. So if there's anything you'd like to hear. Again, my email is ssam@awen.com or tweet me at DJ_SSAM and let me know what you'd like to hear. I'm DJ Sim. This is Daebak City on Aewen Radio. Take care.